Are you ready for this? I have for you today the template, the blueprint, the everything you need for the perfect Poshmark listing. Okay, dramatic, I know. People ask me what should be in the listing. I give lots of tips on Instagram about what I think should be in listings, but it's like, work on this, work on this. It's kind of like jumbled up and sporadic. So I wanted to do this video to just kind of give like one brain dump of everything I think that needs to go in the perfect Poshmark listing. Now, nothing is ever perfect. You do the best you can. But here's what I try to do. It doesn't even always happen for me. But this is my blueprint of what I feel like the perfect Poshmark listing is. And if you are far from this, now you have a place to work toward. And if you don't get all the way here, that's okay. We all do the best we can. You're going to make sales even if you don't have the perfect Poshmark listing. But you can make more sales on Poshmark if you have a listing that has all the things that I'm going to talk about today, in my opinion. So, perfect Poshmark listing to make more money on Poshmark. Here's what I think needs to be in it. So we're going to start with the photos. I think you need perfect photos. And I say that tongue in cheek. None of our photos are perfect. Even my photos are not perfect, but they are perfect enough for me. And I have gotten my photo system down to the science to where I know exactly how many photos I can take in a certain time period. I know exactly the steps. I have everything I need. And so if you're not at the place where you have an efficient system and an ideal result, meaning the actual photos, you should spend some time working on this, because once you get it, you never have to mess with it again. I do not spend any brain cells figuring out my photos anymore. I haven't for years. I have the system down and it's done. I will link my photo process and my photo ready measurements forms videos up here because those are helpful. That's how I kind of got to this system. But so you know, I think that a perfect photo or perfect photos for a listing should have a bright white background or at least clean and clear background. So if you are not at the point where you can do photo backdrop paper like I do, or you don't have a white wall and you're still at the stage where you're doing the best you can on the wall that you have, as long as it's clean and clear. You don't want a bunch of junk in there. You don't want it to look messy. You don't want it to look dirty. You want it to be clean and clear. I am a hanger. I hang all my items. I don't do mannequins or flat lays. Whatever your system is, it should be clean and clear, preferably with a bright white background. It should be presented well and cared for. Now, we're going to go through all of the things, title, description, all these things, but I'm starting with the photos because they are the first things that your customer will see. And so if your item is hanging and it's all disheveled, then that's not so good. So that's not so good. And you need to make sure that the item is well presented, that someone will want to buy it from you. If you just have it hanging there sad, haphazard, wrinkled, or whatever, nobody's going to want your item. So make sure it's presented well and cared for, and then make sure that you have enough photos of the item so that they can understand that what they see or what they think they're going to get is actually what they're going to get. So taking the whole front, taking the neckline, taking the shoulder, taking the sleeve, taking the top half, taking the bottom half, taking any details, taking the whole back, any details on the back, taking all of the tags, including the fabric content and the care tag, and any other numbers if you think you're going to look up stock photos. Taking all of them will give them the feel like, okay, she's not trying to hide anything. I can see everything here. This item looks really good. I feel comfortable and confident that I want to buy this, and that what I get is going to be what I thought I was buying. That's really important. So that's your photos. Next is a branded information graphic. You don't have to do this, but I like doing this, and I highly recommend doing this. So in Canva, I created a square graphic that has my little logo on my rack, and then it has things that it says. It says professional seller, packaged with care, offers welcome, bundle and save, heart for price drops, and ship same next day. This is some information about me as a seller and the experience that they are going to get as a buyer when they buy from me to help boost confidence, just kind of leave a nice impression, and to look professional. Can you make sales without this? Of course. But I think it's a really good thing to do. I think it does help increase conversion once someone has clicked on your listing. I think it just kind of builds that relationship with them for you. And I think it's pretty easy to do and not that big of a deal. So once you make one, it's made. You don't have to do anything else with it. And you just shove it in with all your photos into the listing. I put it as my last one. And you can go to my closet on my rack and check it out. It's there for anyone to see. So I think a branded information graphic is really helpful. I also think that a sale graphic, if it applies to the item, is also really helpful. And I have several of these, and I will link up here below. I'm going to make a playlist for all of my everyday promotions videos. This is a way that I sell all the time. I make everyday promotions that say 2 Eileen Fisher pants for $50, that say 2 belts or scarves for $30. That's 3 jewelry items for $35 with free shipping. Whatever my promotion is, I make a little graphic for it and I put that in the listing to which it applies. I also have it as a separate listing itself as kind of like an advertisement. And this allows people to know that, oh, this item is actually included in a sale and I can get this sale and I can get a better deal. And so if I like this Zara item and I go find another Zara item, I'm going to get 50% off. Yes, like whatever the promotion is that you have, if it applies to that item, put a graphic inside the listing as one of the photos. So for me, most of the time there's 2 extra things potentially in my listing. It's all the item photos, and then there's my closet infographic at the end. And then as the second photo is whatever the sale would be. So that way, as soon as they scroll from cover photo down, they're going to see the sale and then all the rest of the item photos. And I really think that that helps. I get people that take advantage of those everyday promotions all the time. It helps me make more sales and get more bundles. So I love it. Okay, so now what you may have all been waiting for, the title and the description. Here's what I think needs to be in the perfect Poshmark listing title. So if it's new with tags, I do put NWT first. I'm just in the habit of doing that. I think it's good to just kind of let them know up front that it's new. So I put NWT if it's new, then I put the brand, then I put the item type like sweater, then I put the size, then the color, then the fabric if it is desirable, cashmere or linen or whatever, and then I put any other details, and the details can be so many things, which I'll kind of talk to you about some of the ideas for that, but the details obviously can be so many things. So it's pretty simple. Sometimes I'll switch around the order, like I like to write cashmere sweater instead of sweater 12 cashmere. You know, I think it's just kind of like what rolls off the tongue better. Leather jacket, I wouldn't write jacket then leather, that kind of stuff. But for the most part, those are the big headers that I include. Now, as far as details go, that could be neckline, sleeve length, sleeve type, fit, rise, length, details about the fabric, and any other details, embellishments. Like there's so many things that you can say to describe your item. Your title only gives you so much room. So fit as much as you possibly can in the title. Just jam out all those keywords. But you also have room in the description. And on Poshmark, for now, who knows what might happen in the future, but for now, the description is also searchable. So if you cannot fit it all in the title, don't just prioritize words for the title and then don't do anything else with the other words that would apply. Put them in your description. So for the description, for a perfect Poshmark listing description, my template goes like this. So it's going to say, excellent pre-owned condition with no flaws. Measurements can be found in the photos. Ship same next day. Professional seller offers welcome. Bundle and save. And then I put my SKU number and then I put the weight. So that is a very easy description template. The elements of that are, I address the condition. So whatever your template's going to look like, 1, I think you should have a template. 2, I think you need to clearly address as best as you can the item condition. Many sellers don't do this, and I think it's very important. So I put excellent pre-owned condition, so that tells them a lot right there, with no flaws. I feel like that does the most and goes the longest way in building buyer confidence, because I'm telling them that I think it's in excellent condition, it is pre-owned, and it has no flaws. And that way, if they get it and it has a flaw, they can go open up a case with Poshmark because I said there were no flaws, and now they're going to say, well, there is this flaw. And then they're going to be protected. And that has happened. There are times where I have missed a flaw. And so they are protected because I said there were no flaws, and then they're like, and this belt loop was broken, which recently happened. And so they got their money back, and I got my item back, and I'm not going to fix that belt loop. Who am I kidding? But I could have fixed the belt loop and re-put it back up, but I did not. So I think that having a really good condition description is super important in your description. The next thing that I put is measurements can be found in the photos. This is because I use photo-ready measurements forms. I put the measurements in my photos. And again, check out that video that I linked earlier that shows my process for that. So for me, I like writing the measurements on the form and taking a photo of the form and having that in there versus the tape measure and that kind of thing. I just don't like how that looks. I think it takes longer. And so this really saves time. So check out that video if you want to know more. So I'm telling them in the description where they would expect for the measurements to be. The measurements are in the photos. Go check it out there. And the reason why this saves time is because I'm just copying and pasting this template in, and it applies to all items because I don't really list things with flaws. Sometimes I will, but my 99.9% is excellent pre-owned condition with no flaws. Measurements can be found in the photos. This template applies to almost everything. And then when there's something that it doesn't apply to, I can go in and customize it. So it's great because it saves so much time to just drop that in. The next thing is what I call the buyer confidence line. For me, like I tell you, it is something I feel has set me apart as a seller, and I have built up this bank of several things that I do that I feel boost confidence with buyers, because as also a buyer on Poshmark, I do not have confidence in many of these sellers. And most of the time, I'm not buying from the people that I don't have confidence in. I took a chance just the other day. I bought something. I asked her a question. She didn't answer it, but she sent me an offer. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and buy it because I know that if it's not what she says it is that I'm concerned about, I can return it. And guess what? It came, and she said it was a leather jacket. There was no tag showing 100% leather, and I got it, and it was faux leather. I put in the return request. I shipped it off today. No problem. I'm fine. And she gets her item back because she did not describe it properly. So, describe your items properly, but I think boosting buyer confidence goes a long way with people that are on the fence and maybe are looking at a few different items from a few different closets, and maybe they want to buy from you because you made them feel more confident that this transaction was not going to be a waste of their time. So, ship same next day, professional seller, offers welcome, bundle and save. That's what I say about me. You can say whatever you want about you that you feel would build buyer confidence. Maybe you steam everything and you want them to know that. Maybe you, handpicked, curated with love, blah, blah. You want to say something like that. Feel free. Whatever you want to say in your buyer confidence line, but I like to kind of keep it to the facts, keep it professional. And so I say these things, and I feel like that, helps buyers buy from me. Now, what's not here are all those extra keywords that I had said that couldn't fit in the title. So if I fit everything in the title, it goes in the title. If I have more keywords that I cannot fit in the title, I would just write keyword, comma, keyword, comma, keyword, whatever they are, before I put the template in. So if I'm listing torrid, blah, blah, blah dress, and I have a few more things to say, and it's like a wine color, I might put wine, comma, Merlot, comma, burgundy, comma, deep red color. Those are all the extra keywords I couldn't fit in the title, so I'm going to put those down there. Then I'm going to drop in my template. Excellent pre-owned condition, blah, 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 blah. So for me, if I'm listing quickly and I don't have a lot of time, That is going to be the basic, quick, and dirty of my title and description. Just the facts, ma'am, just the things that optimize keywords and SEO, and just the things that I feel like will boost buyer confidence that this is going to be a positive transaction for them. Now, I like, and I do sometimes, and I think if you have time or you really just like this step, adding more flowery language, adding sentences that really entice the buyer and paint the picture are really helpful, can help with conversion. Taking someone who's interested in your item into an actual buyer of that item. I really do think that there are people on Poshmark that want to be sold to. They want you to tell them that this is the statement piece of their wardrobe and they're going to be, it's a showstopper, and think about it when you wear it on date night or brunch with the girls, and like paint the picture. They love that. They want you to give them permission to spend their money and buy this item. So I just don't always have time for that. And so I think you can go either way. If you have trouble with coming up with that kind of language, I did make a whole guide. It's called my sales phrases guide, because I had a Poshmark coaching call with someone who's like, listen, I really want to do this, but it doesn't come naturally to me. You know, I don't have a job where I like sell to people, and so it doesn't come natural. I need help with this. And so I basically created this for her. I gave it to her for free. And then I said, I'm going to make this available to other people. So I have a keywords list, which is just quick and dirty keywords. Then I created the sales phrases guide, and that is also really helpful to people that struggle in this area. If you checked my listings, you're not going to see a lot of that because I just try to do the bare minimum to get as many sales as I can. But if things don't sell, then I do go back in and I add extra things. So I think you can go either way on the salesy language. Now, the perfect price is another part of your perfect Poshmark listing. And I do have, I don't know if I've run out of videos that I can link, but I do have pricing videos that I think are really helpful. If not, just find the playlist on my channel. But what I do to get the perfect price is I do a quick check of the comps, unless I already know it, because I've said torrid dress a few times. So I like selling torrid dresses. I list them all for $50. I don't have to check the comps. That's what I'm going to list it at. That's what my pricing formula is for me. I did a video about pricing formula, so check that out. So based on a quick check of the comps, I would come up with a listing price. But I also know that I price on the high side of the comps because I do a lot of sales generating activities. And by that, I mean offer to likers, running sales, everyday promotions, my shoppers, bundle discounts, all those things. I do all that stuff. So I price high so that I can account for all those discounts that I give. If you are someone that does not do that, then you might want to price on the low side of the comps, and you're figuring that somebody's just going to buy it, right? Buy it outright, buy it with your bundle discount. You don't want to send out all these offers or whatever. You don't want to do all these sales generating activities. So you're going to price on the low side of the comps. I think those two strategies are acceptable. Do I think you should do the latter one and price low and not do the sales generating activities? No, I don't. I don't think that that is an effective thing. I think what I do, of course, what I do, and I mean that in the best way. What I do is I price high on purpose so that I could send out all those discounts and offers and kind of like say, hey, buy this item. If you just price it low and you don't do all those activities, then you're not really getting in front of them again. So if they don't buy it at the low price, then you're just kind of dead in the water at that point. So for me, I think that there's more bang for your buck in pricing high, because guess what? Sometimes people just buy it outright anyway. Sometimes you make a sales at a high price. And so if you didn't have it priced high, you'd never make those sales. So you can take the discounts, but you can also get those high price sales. So I think that the perfect Poshmark price is based in comps, but then also accounts for the type of business that you run. You price high if you offer discounts and do sales generating activities, and you price low if you're not going to do any of that stuff. You shouldn't price high and then not do any of those sales generating activities. I think that's a problem. And then I also think it would be a problem if you priced low and did sales generating activities, because then you'd hardly make any money. So I think that the sweet spot is based in comps, price high, offer sales generating activities. That's what I do. If you want to know more about how to combat slow sales, beat the summer slowdown, and just really give your Poshmark closet kind of like an up level, like you started out, you didn't always do the right things, now you're ready to take it more serious, you're ready to like dive in there and fix everything. I have a Poshmark 30-day reboot course, which kind of takes you through 30 days of each day a different task, each day a different thing to focus on to level up your Poshmark closet and get you to a point where you're making daily reliable sales. So if that's something that you're interested in, I have the link down below to my Rebecca the Reseller Academy. It's the Poshmark 30-day reboot. And if you use code VIDEO20, you get 20% off. I have lots of free stuff down there too. So go ahead and check out the description down below. Leave me a comment and say hi, and I will see you in the next video, or watch whatever video comes up next on my channel. Bye.